All right, let's look at the homework 11.3, problem number 8. All right, so let's solve this first order linear equation. All right, so let's put it in the standard form. First thing is we'd like to have a 1 in front of y prime. So I'm going to divide through by 2x. All right, so we have a y prime minus 1 over 2x y is equal to, so it's going to be a 1/2, right? So divide by x, so it's going to be x squared, and divide by x, so minus 1. Right, so we have that. All right, then we can identify p here, and also q is this guy. All right, so let's find the integrating factor. Integrating factor would be, we're going to call u, right? So it's going to be e to the integral of negative 1 over 2x dx. All right, so this is going to be e to the, so negative 1/2 is just a number, and then you have antiderivative of that will be natural log of x, right? Then we can put negative 1/2 as a power here, so it's a negative 1/2 power. Then we can cancel e and a natural log, so we would get x to the negative 1/2 power, right? So the formula is y is equal to, right, 1 over u. So it's going to be simply x to the 1/2 because it's a reciprocal, so we take away the negative sign there. And then integral. Right, so the right hand side, or q is going to be 1/2. So I'm going to put 1/2 outside. Right, so you have x squared minus 1. Then multiply by x to the negative 1/2, right, with respect to x, right? So let's clean this up. So you have x to the 1/2 power over 2, right? Then we have, I'm going to distribute this guy to each of these guys, and we're going to get here x to the square and the negative 1/2, so it's going to be 3/2 power minus x to the negative 1/2 power. Right, then we just have to find antiderivative. So this is going to be equal to x to the 1/2 power over 2. Right, antiderivative of these would be, all right, add 1, so it's going to be 5 over 2. And divide by 5 over 2 is equivalent to multiply by 2/5 minus, right, add 1 to the power, so it's going to be x to the positive 1/2, divide by 1/2 would be multiplied by 2, and then you have a plus some constant c. Right, so let's clean up this guy here. All right, so we have, let's see, actually I'm going to call this guy C1. All right, then I'm going to divide, let's see, I'm going to actually distribute this guy, so over 2, so 2 cancel with 2 on top here, 2 on top there, and I have to put 1/2 there. All right, it's going to be a number, so it's not going to really matter too much. All right, then I'm going to distribute x to the 1/2 to each term. All right, so we're going to get this. All right, so it's going to be 1/5, right, x to the x cubed, right, because this goes 6 over 2, and minus, this is going to be just x, right, and plus, right, c1 over 2, this is square root of x, right? But again, there's no point of having c1 over 2, so I'm going to call this guy c, right? So I'm going to clean it up as x cubed over 5 minus x plus c times square root of x, right? So let's find c, right? So when x equals 4, so y of 4, right? So let's plug in 4 there. So you have a 4 cubed. So you have a 64 over 5 minus, right, 4 plus c times square root of 4 is 2. So it's actually 2c. Let's see. I'm going to write as a 2c. Right? It's supposed to be equal to 2. Right? So what's this? Let's see. So we have, let's see. So it's a common denominator. So it's a 5. So 64 minus 20 plus 2c is equal to 2. Right? So this is going to be 44 over 5 plus 2c is equal to 2, right? And I'm going to subtract 44 over 5. You get the 2c is equal to, right? 2 is 10 over 5. You're subtracting 44 over 5. So you have a negative 34 over 5. And then we can just divide through by 2. So c is equal to negative 17 over 5. Right? So therefore, we have y is equal to x cubed over 5 plus minus x minus 17 over 5 square root of x. Right? So let's type it in. Alright, so we got the y is equal to x cubed over 5 minus x minus 17 over 5 square root of x. Alright, so let's check the answer. Alright, I came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.